भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्यति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome you all to the morning program. Okay, so today we are going to learn about the verse number 3.8.27, the power of selfless devotional service. Okay, so we all must be working hard. If Krishna personally monitoring us, let's say while we are doing a devotional service, if Krishna is personally monitoring us, or and he is reciprocating to whatever the service that we are doing, uh, what will happen? How will we feel? Right? So that is the concept of today's verse. Today we are going to understand something very beautiful. And Krishna is not an impersonal God, and he establishes a relationship with his devotee, and he is a person, and he looks at the devotees and he reciprocates. This is the whole concept of today's verse. So before we get into the context and before we get into the explanation of today's verse, we'll first recite the verse. मुखेन लोकार्तिहरस्मितेन परिस्फुरत्कुण्डलमण्डितेन शोणायितेनादरबिम्बभासा प्रत्यर्हयन्तं सुनसेन सुपर्वम्। मुखेन लोकार्तिहरस्मितेन पारिस्फुरत्कुण्डलमण्डितेन शोणायितेनादरबिम्बवासा प्रत्यर्हयन्तं सुनसेन सुभर्वा. Anyone wants to recite? स्मृतेन परिस्फुरत्कुण्डलमण्डितेन शोणायितेनादरबिम्बवासा प्रत्याहयन्तं सुरसेन शुभ्रवा. मुखेन लोकार्तिहरस्मृतेन परिस्फुरत्कुण्डलमण्डितेन शोणायितेनादरबिम्बवासा प्रत्याहन्तं सुरसेन शुभ्रवा. मुखेन लोकार्तिहरस्मृतेन परिस्फुरत्कुण्डलमण्डितेन शोणायितेनाधरबिम्बवासा प्रत्यर्हयन्तं सुरसेन शुभ्रवा. मुखेन लोकार्तिहरस्मृतेन परिस्फुरत्कुण्डलमण्डितेन शोणायितेनाधरबिम्बवासा प्रत्याहयन्तं सुरसेन शुभ्रवा. Thank you very much. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, His Vedanta, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. He also acknowledged the service of the devotee and vanquished their distress by his beautiful smile. The reflection of his face, decorated with earrings, was so pleasing because it dazzled with the rays from his lips and the beauty of his nose and eyebrows. The very, very beautiful verse. If you understand the context of this particular verse, Brahmadev was not aware of what he has to do and he was confused. From his confusion, he realized that he has to do some tapasya. When he performed tapasya for 100 celestial years, then he has seen Lord Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, right? And when he has seen the Lord Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, his form is described. You understand one thing here, that Brahmadev has done a hard work, very much hard work. When Brahmadev did this, is there anyone noticing? No one was there. He was the first person who was available in this material universe, and he does not know what to do, and there is no one to guide him. In such a situation, he got inspired by Supreme Lord and he has performed the tapasya. And when he was performing a tapasya, there is no one to notice. And there is no one to acknowledge. There is no one to appreciate. But still, Brahmadev did it for the pleasure of Lord. Right? That is the whole concept. Selfless devotion. Right? The selfless devotion, the result of selfless devotion is something is explained in this verse. Okay. We all are serving. In fact, if you see in the material duties also, we all are serving our family, we all are serving our society, our friends, but we expect appreciation, we expect acknowledgement. What if somebody does not notice you? Do you do the same hard work? What if somebody does not acknowledge you? Are we going to do the same service? Sometimes we feel like even in your office also, if you work hard and if you are not acknowledged and the credit goes to somebody else, what will we do? We'll get demotivated and we decide that, next time onwards, I should not do this much hard work, which has no meaning, right? Which has no acknowledgement, which has no appreciation, which has no monetary benefit. This is what we actually think. But it is complete opposite in case of devotional service. Devotional service is something that we do for the pleasure of Supreme Lord, not for somebody to notice us. And we might be thinking that whether Supreme Lord is really noticing us or not, right? Is he really noticing us or not? I am doing service. Is he noticing or not? So, if you see here, Mukena loharti, Mukena lokarti harasmritena. His beautiful face removes the distress of the people. Brahmadev has performed austerity for 100 celestial years. How much hard work he would have done, right? And the moment when he saw the face, beautiful face of Lord, his whole distress and his whole hard work disappeared in a fraction of seconds. That is the beautiful face of the Lord. And the second point he mentioned is Parispurat Kundala Manditena. He was decorated with Kundala. He was decorated with a Kundala. Actually, the Kundala of, he was decorated with so many ornaments, but the Kundala has a special, significance. Even in Damodara Arti, the Kundala was explained. The reason for why Kundala is special decoration is because, not because the Kundala is, beautifying the face of the Lord. In fact, the Kundala has so much, opportunity that it can kiss the cheeks of the Lord, right? So that's the reason Kundala is especially explained in Damodara, Ashtakam also. The Kundala touches the cheeks and it kisses the cheeks continuously. When he was running, escaping from the mother Yashoda, the Kundala was touching his cheeks. That's why Kundala was explained. Next, Shonayitena Dharabhimbhavasa. The smile on the beautiful face of Lord signifies a lot. That is the acknowledgement of service of the devotee. Lord looks at a devotee itself is a big thing. And second thing, looking at a devotee and smiling, it means a lot for a devotee, right? In fact, if you see Kunti prayers, the whole Kunti prayers goes for 14-15 verses, right? And they're all intense prayers. And it shows the pure devotion of Kunti Devi towards the Lord Krishna. And in fact, heart-melting prayers of Kunti. After all those prayers, what did Krishna do? He simply smiles. And what devotee wants? Just a smile of Krishna? Lot of 100 celestial years of hard work and intense prayers. Just Krishna looks at them and smiles. Is it okay? Is this enough? Huh? What is the purpose of a devotional service? First of all, we need to understand the purpose of devotional service is not to get some material benefit, right? The purpose of devotional service is not to get some material. Some people, might be coming to the temple to, fulfill their material desires, right? Somebody wants first rank in their competitive exam. Somebody wants, 40% hike, 50% hike. Somebody wants good job. Somebody wants beautiful wife. Somebody wants some name, fame, or somebody wants a lot of opulences. But what a devotee wants?
Right.
Devotee does not even think for getting liberation. What he wants is a pleasure of Krishna. Right? The pleasure of Krishna is something that is enough for Krishna. So the smile of Krishna signifies what? He is pleased. He is pleased. That means the purpose for why we are doing a devotional service is solved. And this is something, the ultimate benefit of a devotional service. Because ultimately what we want is Krishna should be pleased. And here Krishna is pleased. And another thing is, here it says about his lips, bimba. Shonayitena dharabhimbha bhasa, adhara bhimba bhasa. The lips are beautiful. And the dazzling rays from his lips, and the beauty of his nose and the eyebrows. See, in this material world, we are exposed to Manmada, right? Cupid. We are exposed to Cupid. What Cupid does? He will use his bow and throws an arrows on us. And those arrows keeps us always engaged in the material desires. And a conditioned soul exposed to Cupid, what happens? A conditioned soul exposed to the arrows of the Cupid, he'll be crying in this material universe, and he creates an ocean of tears. Right? Ocean of tears. But whereas, if you really, because of the distress that we have in this material universe, we create an ocean of tears. Nothing else beyond that. But if you want to really be protected from this ocean of tears and from this distress, what you need to do? You need to be exposed to the rays of Krishna's arrows coming from the eyebrows. The eyebrows are compared with the bow, and the glance of Krishna are the arrows that are coming out of the Krishna's eyes. So if we are exposed to the such an arrows, then we can be freed from the distress in this material world. We can be protected from the material bondage. So the conditioned soul's immediate responsibility is to take darshan of Krishna and ensure that the Krishna is noticing you. So how do you ensure that the Krishna is noticing you?
By serving.
By serving and by associating with the pure devotees. Right? If you are not associated, generally if you go to Tirupati Balaji temple or if you go to Puri Jagannath temple, how the queue will be? And we want to take darshan of Lord Jagannath, and there's a lot of rush, and we will not be following the queue ever, and then we will be jumping and we will be going, and we want to be the first person in the queue, and we want to take a great darshan of the Lord. But just imagine, you are in the front line and you are looking at Lord Jagannath. But what if Lord Jagannath is not noticing you? And how do you ensure that Lord Jagannath is noticing you? Even whether you are at a front line or you are not at a front line, does not matter. But Jagannath should notice you. Jagannath will notice you when you perform a pure devotional service. And we are that pure devotional service is possible only when you are associated with a pure devotee who is doing a pure devotional service. Selfless devotion. That's why when Lord Chaitanya went to Puri Jagannath, he was not rushing to take darshan of Lord Jagannath, or he is not jumping, or he is not overtaking all other devotees and going and standing in the front line to take the darshan of Lord Jagannath. What was he doing? He was standing at Gardastambha. Gardastambha is very far from Lord Jagannath. He was standing at a Gardastambha. And people were saying, you are respected. You will get a path to go near to the Jagannath. But why are you standing here? What did Lord Chaitanya say? If I stand at Gardastambha, Jagannath will 100% sure he will look at me. If I go and stand in the front line, Jagannath may not look at me, but if I stand at a Garuda Stamba, he will 100% look at me. Why? Because Garuda is a pure devotee. Not for me. Jagannath will look at Garuda, and when he is looking at Garuda, he will see me also. If I stand at Garuda Stamba. Okay, that is the mood of a devotee. Because we should not be cheating people and crossing the lines. And sometimes we go right in the queues, like we jump to queues, and then third line we will go and front line we will go. So we'll try to take darshan in that way. That is not the way of taking. But Jagannath will not notice us if you do that. So the way that we take darshan should be that you be associated with a pure devotee, even if you are at a back lane, and the Krishna will see that pure devotee. While he is seeing that pure devotee, he will also see you. Right? That is how we should serve. See, taking darshan is also a service, and that service also should be a selfless. Right? Only then Krishna will notice us. So we will try to see some lessons that we can learn from the purport that is given to us by Srila Prabhupada. So our main concern is that whether I am doing a proper service or not, and that service is sufficient enough for Krishna to reciprocate to me or not. This is our concern, right? Sometimes we are chanting. While we are chanting, we think whether I'm rightly chanting, whether my service is proper or not, whether Krishna will notice with my chanting or not. And sometimes we also do a lot of service, but how does Krishna care about that service? Does Krishna need that service or not? Okay, because Krishna has everything. Krishna does not need anything from us. Sometimes we do something which is very menial, and we think this may not be required for Krishna, and Krishna may not care for us. And sometimes I'm struggling to control my mind while I'm doing the service to Lord. Right? So with that uncontrolled mind, if I perform my devotional service, will Krishna notice me? And this is also our concern. And I'm trying to improve my sadhana. And what will happen if I improve? Does this really matter? Is it really required? Because in initial stage of the devotional service, right, we all think that what is really happening, because we don't see the immediate result. We think, is it really matters? Sometimes my service feels insignificant. Does Krishna value my service? These are some of the questions that I have written. So the answer for all these questions is given in Srimad Bhagavatam 3.8.27. Okay. So some services that if we take as an example is like cleaning a temple, arranging all these mats for the class, or cooking a prasadam, right? And receiving devotees, caring devotees, a distribution of books. Sometimes we distribute the whole day only one book. Okay. And maybe although we have a lot of difficulties and we don't find time in busy life, but we are still chanting 1 round or 2 rounds or 4 rounds or 16 rounds, whatever way. So we may think what difference it is really making with all these services that I mentioned. But Bhagavatam is telling us an astonishing fact that Krishna acknowledges the service of his devotee no matter how menial that service is. Okay? So that is the whole theme of this. The context we already discussed. The Brahma was confused and he was searching for the source of creation. Right? He was searching for the source of creation. And then he performed a meditation and he did tapasya by hearing to the instructions of Lord, tapa and tapa. And eventually he was blessed by the realization of the Lord. That's what the whole context. So when Krishna appeared in front of him, how did he appear? That is the beauty of the Krishna is described in the couple of verses. And today's verse is about the smile of Krishna, right? Today's verse is about the smile of God. So, beautiful smiling face, dazzling earrings, reddish lips, beautiful nose, beautiful eyebrows, and enchanting personality. This is the description of Krishna that we are seeing. Lokarti haras mritena. His smile destroys the distress of the devotee. Krishna smiles is communicating something. Right? Krishna's smile is communicating something. I've seen your service. That is the meaning of the smile of Krishna. I've seen your service. And I know your struggle. And I have not forgotten you. And continue to serve me. If you see in this uh, purport, he has explained when devotee is serving Krishna, there is a transcendental competition between the service of a devotee and the reciprocation of Krishna. There's a competition. You serve more, and Krishna will reciprocate more. As Krishna reciprocates more and more, and a devotee serves more and more, because he's getting motivated to serve more and more. Because devotee does not want beyond Krishna's pleasure, right? And the pleasure of Krishna is uh, seen in the uh, smile of Krishna, right? So then Krishna is pleased by the devotional service. The devotional service is unique. That is explained in the purport. The devotional service is unique. There are many spiritual paths: jnana path, yoga path, meditation, austerity, ritualistic activities, and charity. There are a lot of spiritual paths. But a devotional service has a topmost place compared to all these paths, right? A person may want something from Krishna always, right? Initially, we come to Krishna only by, desiring something. Krishna may give me wealth, or Krishna may give me health, or Krishna may give me the success, or Krishna may give me the pure devotion. People may come with so many desires. But what Krishna wants from us, Krishna wants a bhakti from us, nothing else other than that. That's why he mentions Patram Pushpam Palam Toy. You just offer me a simple things which are insignificant or which is less valued, but still he reciprocates. That's why Krishna mentioned, you don't, a rich person may offer rich things, but it's not necessary for us to offer such a rich, but with devotion, with love. Even if you offer a flower, Krishna accepts. Even if you offer a little water, Krishna accepts. Even if you offer a tulsi leaf, Krishna accepts. That is the uniqueness of a devotional service. Okay. So that is the mood of us should be changed from a consumer mode to a servant mode, right? We come to Krishna to get something, but eventually our devotional service should become a selfless. That is the ultimate purpose of coming close to Krishna, right? So the mood should be changing from getting something from Krishna to serving Krishna, pleasing Krishna. That's what Brahmadev did. For 100 celestial years, what he has done is to please Krishna. Okay. So the type of relationships are two. One is material relationship, another one is devotional relationship. In the material relationship, what we think is, what can I get from any relationship, right? You become a friend to somebody only if you think this friend is useful for me, right? This friend pleases me. This friend is helpful. Otherwise, can we become a friend to anybody? There is a material motivation, right? Or he may help me in exams. He may help me in passing the interview, clearing the interview, or he may help me in knowing, certain things which are required for my career. In that way. So the relationships are based on give and take. transactions in the material world. These are all material relationship. So with the same mood we come to Krishna. Krishna is somebody else who will supply me something which I want. Right? This is the mood that we had initially when we come to Krishna. Krishna is some other relationship that we have among all other material relationships that we have, and Krishna fulfills all my desires. Right? But whereas the devotional relationship is not like that. What can I give to Krishna? When I come to Krishna and when I come close to Krishna, the mode that we should have is, what can I give to Krishna? Krishna is my master. I am his servant. This should be the mode. That should be the transformation that one should have in the devotional service. From getting something from Krishna to giving something to Krishna. This should be the transformation. So the higher consciousness is, Krishna, I want to serve you. This is the higher consciousness. We are chanting, we are doing devotional service. All this is meant for giving something to Krishna. I am here to serve you. When we have that mood, Krishna will 100% reciprocate. Krishna will look at us. Krishna will smile at us. And the beauty is, when you do that, Krishna will become a debtor. Right? Krishna will become a debtor. If you ask something and Krishna gives you something, what is there, Krishna? What is there for us to get something beyond what we want from Krishna? Right? So Lord becomes like a debtor to his devotees. So how can the Supreme Lord become indebted? How can the Supreme Lord become indebted? Is only by serving him selflessly. Right? So there are so many examples that we can think of. Some of the examples here you can see. Prahlad Maharaj, right? He never asked for a material desires. He never asked Lord to fulfill material desires. So Lord bound to protect him. There's no other choice for Lord. He has no other choice. He has to come and protect Prahlad Maharaj. And when you see Sudama's service is also selfless service. In fact, when he went to the palace of Vrindavan, what is it? Dwaraka palace. The moment when Lord Krishna see Sudama, he got up from his simhasan and then he ran towards Sudama and he embraced him. And he made Sudama to sit on his seat, Lord Krishna's seat. And he has washed his feet. Say, Lord is supreme, right? And he is not a servant of anybody. And the whole universe is, the living entities in the whole universe are the servants of Lord Krishna. But he is serving a devotee because he is a debtor to a devotee. Right? He is a debtor to a devotee. Even if you see Arjuna, right? Arjuna, he has become a chariot driver to Arjuna. Why? Arjuna is great. Krishna is not great. He has become, because his reciprocation is in that way with his devotees. He can become a servant to his devotees. And he gives everything and he protects us in all situations. He protects us in all situations. So it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita also. I personally protect my devotee by giving him what he lacks and by protecting him what he already has. So this is the protection. Even a little squirrel has done a little service, was protected. Right? In Ramayana. The great Vanaras are carrying a big stones, but a squirrel could not carry so much. And it carried a little sand. Right? The service of a squirrel when compared to the monkeys, how much menial it is. Right? How much small it is. But still, Lord Rama acknowledged the service of squirrel, right? That is the that if you are serving with a heart, if you are serving with love, Krishna will reciprocate. So the continuous transcendental competition is something that we discuss now. Devotee serves Krishna, and Krishna acknowledges the service of devotee, and the devotee becomes enlivened. The devotee becomes enlivened, and Krishna becomes even more pleased. And when Krishna becomes more pleased, and devotee serves more and more, because he is enthusiastic to serve more and more. Okay, this is the transcendental competition between a devotee and Lord. So, continuous transcendental competition. So, Krishna always thinks, how can I reciprocate with my devotees? How can I reciprocate with my devotees? So, by doing a devotional service, there are transformations in a conditioned soul. And there are three types of transformations. The service purifies the heart. The first thing is um, using our own senses, we do service. When we do the service with the senses gets purified. When the senses gets purified, the heart gets purified, the mind gets purified. The purification produces the attachment towards Krishna. Initially, there is no attachment with Krishna. We go for the material desires and we serve. And that service purifies our senses and we get attached to Krishna. Once we get attached to Krishna, that attachment produces the genuine spiritual happiness. Right? The happiness, real happiness. In this material world, I said, there is no real happiness. Even though Krishna gives all material opulences to us, we are crying with the distress and we are creating an ocean of tears. But whereas if you are in the spiritual advancement and if Krishna is reciprocating to you with your service, then you get spiritual happiness. So don't wait for the taste in the service. Let's do the service sincerely and taste will develop automatically. Okay. Initially, we don't have a taste to chant. Initially, we don't have a taste to serve devotees. Initially, we don't have a taste to come to temple. But still, you keep doing your service. Continue your sadhana. Then what happens? The taste develops slowly. Okay. So the day 1, 16 rounds of chanting, how you feel? Right? The day 1, 16 rounds of chanting, we feel like it is very difficult. It's not possible. And the days progress, when you come to day 20, then what happens? We get some discipline in chanting. Right? We may not get pleasure. We may not get happiness, or we may not feel like we are doing a devotional service, but there is some discipline. And the discipline starts. I have to chant in Brahma Murta every day. This happens. And because of the discipline only, we are here today. We got up early in the morning, we took bath, we attended Mangalarti, and we did chanting, and we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. This is a discipline. Oh, how we got this discipline is not in day 1. We got over a period of time. Right? Regularly we are doing this. Then one day if you don't do, what you will feel? You will feel like I did some mistake. I have not done my routine. Something missing. And the whole day will not be happy. Right? Today I am free at home, but I did not attend Bhagavatam class. How do we feel? That will be pinching us. The whole day you will be feeling bad. Right? That means I'm not sure whether we really get pleasure out of that class or not. Different thing. But we definitely feel that I did some mistake. Right? The discipline is missing. So the discipline comes and we are regular. We become regular. We become strong in our service. And day 100, what happens? Huh? And we establish sleeping. Huh? We establish some relationship. Right? We establish some relationship. Initially, we start doing with discipline, then we establish some relationship. We know each other. We reciprocate each other. We respect each other. And we understand the others' service. We value others, and others will start valuing us. And we all together start serving. Right? Some attachment with the nama that we are chanting also starts. So that's the attachment to Harinam is a big thing. As you progress in your service, the attachment to the service also starts. And one day, what happens? I don't want to miss chanting. Right? This is the taste that God developed over a period of time, not from the day one. What if on the day one, if I am not getting a taste and if I stop chanting, what will happen? Do we reach to a state where we get attached to the chanting, and do we reach to a state where we think that, I should not miss chanting today? Right? So this is what happens. So initially you start as a duty, and the taste gets developed, and the relationship starts, okay, with the taste. So let's not judge the progress of the spiritual advancement that we have, whether I'm getting a bliss by my service today or not. Let's not judge in that way. Let's just start serving. Okay. Service first and taste later. Okay. The next important point is the test of a pure service. Right? The test of a pure service. Am I really doing a pure service? What is the test? What if nobody is praising me? Will I serve? What if nobody is thanking me? Will I serve? What if nobody knows that I did something? Will I serve? What if Krishna is pleased? So, do you want top 3 or last one? Last. So, if the answer gradually becomes yes, that means we are deepening in bhakti. Okay. I will serve even if nobody is noticing me. I will serve even if nobody is thanking me. I will serve even if nobody is praising me. I will serve even if nobody knows I did a service. I'll serve if Krishna pleases. That means the answer is yes for all these questions, no? We have to question ourselves. That means, yes, I'm progressing in bhakti. Okay. My pure service test is in this way. So, Hrishikena Hrishikesha Shevan. So use your all senses and serve Krishna. So the difference before coming to bhakti and after coming to bhakti. Before beginning the bhakti and after starting the bhakti. Okay. So I feel like I am the enjoyer. But when after we start the bhakti, then what happens? Krishna is an enjoyer. Before bhakti, we think everything is for me. Then after bhakti, what we think? Everything is for Krishna. How can Krishna help me? That is our mood before coming to bhakti, right? But when we come to bhakti, then what we think? How can I help Krishna? Right? And how can I help Krishna's mission? So, some lessons, the personal commitment that we need to take from the devotional service or from the verse today is that improve our sadhana, day-to-day sadhana. I will improve my chanting. I'll study Srila Prabhupada books daily. I'm very inspired by all of you because you are so regular. You all are attentively hearing Srimad Bhagavatam every day. Right? So this purifies us. This is a great service that we are doing. Prabhupada books, reading Prabhupada books, hearing to Srimad Bhagavatam is a great devotional service. And I will take one service seriously. We might be thinking, what is pleasing me? That service I will take. Generally, right? So I don't want to take a service which will not please me. And this is the general mood of a people. If Raja Krishna Prabhu tells you that you take care at a chapel stand, how many of us are ready, right? Or Raja Krishna Prabhu tells, or the temple management tells us that you clean the vessels. How pleasing it is for us. Or clean the temple premises. How pleasing it is for us. Or if he says, sit in Vyasasana and give a Bhagavatam class. Okay, we all are ready for that, right? So, no. So, yeah, some services will please us. But matter here is not about whether the service is pleasing us or not. With our service, whether we are pleasing Krishna or not, we are pleasing our mentor or not, we are pleasing our guru or not, we are pleasing our senior devotees or not. That is the subject matter, right? Our service should help us in that. So, for that reason, no matter what service it is, you take that service seriously and perform that service wholeheartedly and give your best in that service. So that's what Brahma did. Please understand. Brahma did in that way. That's why Krishna reciprocated. And while we are serving, just remember consciously that I am not seeking any recognition by my service. Recognition is not the motive for my service. Okay? And I will serve devotees more carefully than what I am. And I will use my talent for Krishna. I will ask daily, Krishna, how can I please you today? This should be the mood. Okay. So, this is how we should serve. Service, no matter how big or how small it is, service will 100% if you do it selflessly, and Krishna will look at you. Krishna will be pleased, and Krishna will glance at you with his rays. Okay, glancing rays will fall on us. Okay, so we will end the session here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Ancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. Any questions?